Moving forward, we have now the next topic, addition of integers. So we have two types of adding integers. Number one, we have adding two integers with the same sign. So this is one of the easiest addition of integers. That is because in step one, we just have to ignore the signs and add the integers only. So we are just going to forget the negative and positive sign of each integer and just add the integers normally. Step 2 is that we copy the sign of the integers to our answer. So let's have an example. For example is we have -4 plus -7. So we are going to ignore the sign. So when we ignore it, it means that we are going to get the absolute value. Say absolute value means we are going to get the positive side of each integer, whether it is a negative or a positive integer. So we ignore the sign, ignore negative, will become 4. Ignore negative, this will become 7. So we only have 4 plus 7. And 4 plus 7 is equal to 11. Step 2, copy the sign. Since the sign of each integer is negative, the answer will be -11. -4 plus -7 is equal to -11. Another example, let's have 8 plus 6. Both of them are positive. Since, again, a natural number, we don't need to write the positive symbol on top of it. Okay, so we have 8 plus 6, that is 8 plus 6, which is equal to 14. Again, since this is positive, we don't need to write positive 14 like that. We could just write the answer as 14. Since not writing it basically means that it is a positive number. We have another example. Last example. Let's have -22 plus -15. When we also put negative, we could also use some brackets to separate it from the symbol of operation, the plus operation or the minus operation. So we have -22 plus 15. Again, we just have to disregard or take the absolute value of the integers. -22 will become +22 or just 22. -15 will become just 15. And 22 plus 15 is equal to 37. So our answer is -22 plus -15 is equal to -37. Again, we are going to follow or copy the sign of the integer of the two integers. So this will be adding two integers with the same sign. Step 1, ignore the sign of the integers, that is get their absolute values. And then after getting the absolute values, it means that we could just add the integers normally. And then step number 2 is copy the sign of the integers to our answer. So this will be the first part of addition of integers. That is adding two integers with the same sign. Okay, let's continue. So the first one is adding integers with the same sign. This time adding two integers with different signs. So step 1 this time is that we ignore the sign of integers again, that is getting their absolute values one more time. But on the first part, we are going to add the number. Here, we are going to subtract the higher integer to the lower integer. And after that, for step 2, our answer will be copying the sign of the higher integer. Let's have an example. For example, we have -42 plus 12. -42 plus 12. Let's ignore the sign. We have 42 here. We also have 12. Looking at the higher number, that is 42. So that will become 42 minus 12. And the answer will be, okay, if your answer is 30, that is correct. So -42 plus 12 is equal to 30. Since we are going to copy the sign of the higher integer is negative because 42 is higher than 12. So our answer is -30. Let's have another example. Let's have 87 plus -20. So the higher number is 87. Lower number is 20. So we're going to have 87 minus 20, and the answer is 67. And we're going to copy the sign. So 87 plus negative 20 is equal to positive 67. We don't need to write the positive symbol since, again, a positive integer is a natural number. So why positive? Because the higher number, 87, is higher than 20. Therefore, we're going to use the positive sign. Let's have a last example for this part. Let's say we have negative, it's another color, negative 29 plus 14, higher number 29 minus lower number 14, and the answer is 15. And then we're going to copy the sign of the higher number, which is negative, because 29 is negative and 29 is higher than 14. So our answer will be negative 15. I hope you understand the adding integers with different sign and with the same sign.